Okay, welcome everyone. I saw that someone was coming in, but then I don't see her now. So maybe there's a bad connection. And just letting everyone know, tree is here because we are doing air, and air is related to wood, the element, and because we see air when trees, move, but air and wind actually you can't see. So Tree is the same. She doesn't like to be on video and she cannot fully focus because usually she's in places where she isn't able to speak. So she's here just to listen and to watch silently. So welcome everyone to this session of co-creating our intentions about air. When I was thinking about air, I was thinking of it in so many ways. One of it is, of course, the air that we breathe physically, and then I was also thinking of the element of wood, which is how we are able to see some aspect of feel the air. And then I thought of the energy in six key, which is wind. So, just like the energy of wind, which goes all over the place, my mind and thoughts are also going all over the place. What
Mm.
is it that we are going to be intending on? And I thought we are all here in human form. We are all still breathing, especially when we talk and with our noses. We are speaking through the medium of air. So let's focus on the physicality of air. Is that okay with everyone? So,
Sure.
but if something else comes up, of course, everything is open. So, just for a moment, let's just focus on this beautiful air that we breathe and just feel where this air is coming from and how it connects us all. If we were in the same room, we would be breathing the air that one of us is taking out. We are connected and we are one in the air that we breathe. Let's focus on all the people who may be in the home or around us and breathe out the air of love and light so that when they breathe it in, they feel that presence of loving light. Please take a few breaths, breathing in light and breathing out love. And now, as we gently open our eyes, let's feel that breath coming in and out from our eyes. And look at the camera for a minute so that those who are seeing this and are not on the Zoom call with us will also feel the connection. So I'd like to start first with asking each one of us, and we can go in alphabetical order. So we'll start with Heike, Kiara, Minakshi, and Vivian. So we'll start with what the last intention that we had of for the month was on water. Did you feel anything happening with you around water in the last month? Starting with Heike.
Yes, as I could feel this bondage between water and me, that um, that water is not like outside of me; it's flowing inside of me, and um, and I was very grateful every glass of water I drank with each sip I took. I was very grateful because that is pure energy. Yeah.
Yeah, so for me also, water represents energy in motion. So there's an activity. Um, and because water is everywhere outside of us and inside of us, it's also the connectedness with other forms of life. So it's like a fractal relationship. Everything is connected to everything. And there's a fluidity, there's movement. All of that is reflected in the water. And I think it's also about whether or not I'm accepting that flow or resisting that flow. So am I willing to go with the stream or am I fighting against the stream? And these are choices that we make every moment of our lives. So it also comes to, how our relationship with water includes that choices.
If we can say the next person's name, then we'll know that we are finished. So I didn't want to.
Okay.
Okay, so what I felt, it was very strange for me this time because, in a very real way, there were lots of water issues happening in my house, in the physical house, and especially on World Water Day. There was something that needed repairing, and I was so worried that there would be mold or there would be a lot of water damage, and there was nothing. You know, everything got solved and handled in a very harmonious, beautiful way, and actually also in a very loving, in something that made me laugh. It was a very interesting way in which things were being repaired. So I felt the blessing. I really felt the blessing of water. Also, I know that emotionally, this has been a time when people have been feeling very emotional, and somehow I found my emotions also being very calm. So I was just looking at that. You know, I was looking at how water and having an intention about water really does help in our daily life as well, in our personal life and in family life. Vivian?
Thank you, Meenakshi. I um, I went into our meeting last time really mentioning that water is one of my focuses, and I think what I've felt since we started focusing on that intention that we set last month is I'm growing more and more aware of the significance of water in everything we do. But interestingly, I was less concerned about what's happening to water, what's happening to people who are deprived of water, which seemed a little odd to me because I usually have a higher level of concern. But I think part of it has to do with being able to set an intention and to let it go and to trust. And I think that's the main reason that I was feeling more at peace with this. For myself personally, I knew I was drinking a lot of water. I mean, I routinely drink water all the time. But over the last month, I began drinking more water. I mean, even more. And I observed that that has actually helped me physically. I think some of us may tend to underestimate the level of dehydration in our own bodies. And there are indicators all the time, dry skin. There are all kinds of physical clues that you may need to drink water. And I'd used those in the past, but I wanted to do more this time, just, I guess, in honor of our theme for the past month. And I think it really did help to bring me back, not just bring me to, but to sustain this piece.
Mm.
So I thank you all for that, for contributing.
Yeah, Anuba has not been in any of our intention meetings, so I'm letting her just see what's happening and then she can decide to participate or not. And so I'm just thinking, the intention that we set in words, did you sort of, and what you said, Vivian, was very important, that you focus on it and you release it. So I'm wondering, uh, did it come to your mind during the month, or did you just feel, okay, we have an intention of water and that's all? But did the words come to your mind or not? So starting with you, Heike.
Mhm. I'm right now in the program of the Four Winds to the Shamanic, and so I'm daily thinking about the four elements, and I'm nourishing them. So it's always in my mind. It's I'm just thinking like this. It's like everything I connect with the four elements, because that's the how what we are made of. Everything is made of this. So it's yeah, that is one of the aspects. And of course, what I liked was to bring together one intention, so it has more strength, because it's because of this connection, it gets more, how can I explain it? Sometimes you don't find the right words, and also you're thinking about, but you don't get the clue. And I think we did a precious work about this, to have this intention, so it followed me. And of course, with the other work, it's filled with life and with more energy, and also it's not just a sentence. I can feel it. How can I get the experience out of it, and not only I'm just talking about something. No, I take it inside, swallow it, and then I can understand. My whole body can understand it, and so it's always present everywhere I go. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I'm currently writing a chapter on Gaia's consciousness and multidimensionality. And I'm recognizing that, this earth, the physical body of this earth, is mostly water. Our own physical bodies are 70% water. And water is the universal solvent. It connects all things. And water is also a field of memory. So all memories are like contained in water. So, Vivian, when you were mentioning drinking enough water, I think that, from a physiological perspective, I think the more hydrated we are, the more we can actually remember our multidimensionality. So I remember someone telling me, an Ayurvedic doctor, that most of us have lost our sense of thirst because we don't drink enough. And once we start to drink, it may still take us a few months to actually remember what it means to be thirsty. And then we find that we're drinking a lot more than we might normally even imagine. So Yeah, so to me, water also represents Gaia in a way. It's like this multidimensionality, this ability to penetrate through different dimensions and experience our identity through this field of memory that holds us all. So it's not something that I think about all the time, but it's something that I can sense, and I don't put it into words. It's just something that I'm aware of.
Thank you. You know,
Like that waterfall behind.
yes, I know. I'm seeing. The interesting thing for me when we are co-creating intentions is that all of us have in different ways been doing intentions and setting them or being aware of them or not wanting to do them, whichever way we have a feeling about them. Then there are many intention projects that go on in the world. And in co-creator circle, I'd like to know in a very real way from people like you, because you all have such wonderful already that consciousness. How is it that intentions will actually work? So it's also like an experiment to see. So one of the ways in which people do is that if a group holds a certain intention or focuses on it, actually, I realize that I don't like the word hold because, like Vivian said, when you're saying hold, it's like you're holding on to it. But like we know with prayer ties and with everything, it's only when you release it that they can manifest. You have to release them to the elements of the earth, of the universe. And Kiara, I know what you said about not having a certain, not even having words, and like Heiko also said, all of them. And when I was asked to do the Gaia Minute project, well, actually, it was called the Daily Prayer Project. I said, but we are meditating all the time. I'm connected all the time. But all the time we are being given these messages from enlightened people that have a daily practice and do it for a few minutes. And for us, even half a minute is enough. I'm really saying it doesn't have to be, although it'll never be half a minute because when you're there, your consciousness will keep flowing. But if you hold a certain thing for a time, because we are
Mm,
living in clock time, because that oneness is our essence. But for some reason, we've come to Earth. We are working through the elements of Earth. Even Gaia is working through the elements of Mother Earth. So, what is the reason for it? It took me a long time, and I realize it's for us to walk the earth, not only float on her, and not only see her as a mother, but also see the planetary aspect of her body. Because when we do, then we also are able to see our own physical bodies, you know. And so I'm just thinking, and I'm
mm,
fine with however we do. That's why I just really want us to answer, did we think of this at all? And I realized that maybe I also didn't, because maybe we don't even remember the words. If you're willing, then we've made this website, the page on the website. There is also on Facebook, there's a group. It would be nice to share, because that energy goes out into the universe, because it's not only for us, it's for people at different layers and different dimensions. And then instead of thinking of what the media is telling everyone, you also start seeing what your own consciousness is telling you. And I don't mean we, I mean all the people who are listening, or who may be seeing, you know. So I'm just wondering what your thought is about it. So my answer also is yes, I did not always actually think of these as words. And let's see what
mm.
Vivian, what you say.
Thank you, Meenakshi. Like you, I didn't make it a routine to look at the words and focus on them for any extended period of time. But I did look at them when I had a chance to, and I think it's because the actual spiritual practice that I'm trying to further develop is to look at this as a group intention, that this is not the intention of the consciousness that identifies as Vivian. Okay, that this is a group intention. So I'm trying to practice seeing this as an intention of our collective, beginning with those who participated in developing this, but getting enough practice and sense of being part of a resonant field. And then over time, expanding that to the point of really identifying beyond just the group that we're in, but identifying as a planetary consciousness. I believe that's what we're working toward. So this is still very useful and something that I want to continue doing.
Yes, I think it's useful because even if we are just doing it for the time that we are here, we're doing it, and and that vibration is going out. So thank you. I love that, and I really love the that we're just to be genuine and to be who we are and to see how things work. Because there's not just one way. There's so many ways for us. I'm just so blessed that all of us are here together. So shall we do this now, and set an intention for ourselves and for our family for the coming month? Because it would be nice to see if we write down something and see it manifesting. I'm sure we have something we can all write. So maybe 2 minutes for that.
So is this related to air now?
No, yeah. So air we know is the element as we spoke of openness and freedom, and so maybe what would you like to see changing in your own self, however you define yourself, and in your family? Write that down just for ourselves. That is not something we'll share. And then we will make an intention about air for the world, which we will share. I think we've all written. Good. Uh, she's making intentions also.
It's
So,
Danielle.
yeah, go ahead, Kiara. Oh, I thought you said something. No?
Yeah, I said it's Danielle St. Nicholas. Grandma is watching.
Grandma is watching. So, Vivian will be back in a minute. Can we write now in the chat what we would like as an intention for air, or do we want to? Yeah, can we write our intention for the air for the world in the
Uh,
chat? Heike, you're saying something?
yeah, you asked for that we should think about an intention we would love to fulfill with our family and our surrounding. Hi.
Hi, Anubha.
Hey, Neva.
and yeah, for around the world, I'm not so sure because what is really bothering me is that we here in Germany still are wearing masks. And that is a real problem, extremely for the kids in school. They are not allowed to breathe air freely in a classroom, even when they meet outside. Some of them are wearing masks. And I think that is a severe problem. And people are really afraid, lots of them, also elderly people. I see them walking around here, even we have the best air you can imagine because, with all the trees and fresh air around, but they are afraid and they wear the mask. Even they are alone in the forest sometimes. And that bothers me very much. And I'm not sure how it is all over the world. But I think what happened in the last month um, uh, changed the minds of people severely into a status of being afraid, even to take a free breath. And I'm not talking about pollution and everything, but just being having the yes to breathe in fresh air. And that makes me real I can't express it. Yeah, I feel really bad about this. And yeah, and I can see all the people being depressed. And um, even right now, springtime is starting here. Lots of the people can't get this free emotion of um, how can I say that they start to smile because of a flower or something. No, they are so concentrating because of this mask. They even can't really see, you know. And then sometimes the glasses, and they go like this, and the little kids, they can't see the image of a face, and um, I think that is a real big problem concerning air. So I'm not sure what I should write down because it's not everywhere. I know that, but here in Germany, it's a real severe problem.
So do it for Germany,
Mhm.
you know. So we are writing in the chat.
I intend.
Yeah. Remember, yeah, you can say I intend, but when we make our group intention, we'll say our intention is. Very nice. We've all written. So the way we normally do, Anubha, is that now we will read the intentions in the chat in order. So we'll start with you, and you read the first one that is in the chat. Because now the intentions are all our intentions, and we will then make one.
So Anuba is starting.
Okay,
So,
can I read?
yeah,
I'm
Anubha is
already,
starting because she's with A.
so I read the first intention which is mentioned in the chat. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So we all breathe the same air, even the same molecules of air. Let us breathe fully and freely, unmasking ourselves, going beyond the physical molecules of air to the prana beneath, breathing in love, breathing out fear, connected together as a single breath of life.
Our intention is to see people without masks, breathing freely fresh, energetic air.
We intend that all beings have open access to clean air and the openness of heart to breathe it in, to expand and radiate.
As we inhale the air, we are receiving in life, and as we exhale, we offer to life. Our intention is to become more present and mindful of the quality of our breath we inhale and exhale and how it impacts our life.
As long as I am the last to enter, I will always be able to read my own. We we all breathe fully, freely, and with complete trust.
Beautiful. I love this.
Mm.
Heiko also read her own. So now we'll go around and starting with Anubha, and we'll say which one we feel, and if we feel there's one that we can that you would feel we can all adopt, and if we have to rewrite, we'll rewrite.
That's a difficult one.
Maybe we can have this as a popcorn round, as they call it, and whoever has a thought can say it.
I love all of them, but what love, um, I love it if it's short because then it's like,
Mm.
and so Vivian, I would prefer this shortcut.
I'm actually saying ditto to what you said, Hiker, because I was feeling the same. What I also wanting to say is that each one of us has written very beautifully and explaining the air. And just to tell you, I don't know if you all, whoever is on social media, Sarai, who's the social media person, she puts all the quotes and she shares them all because all of them add to the resonant field, and that beauty that is expressed here. Yeah, I love how Kiara has brought in the pran and that inner sense. I love how when I was writing, suddenly the Anahat said, "Remember, I have the energy of wind. It's the heart." It reminded me, and I love how Heike, when you talked about the masks, it really became for all of us. It's not just in one country. So Anubha and Kiara and Vivian. Kiara, we can rewrite. So if you feel we can.
Yeah, I think the last one from Vivian is very concise, and maybe we could rewrite it using maybe a few words from here and there from the rest of them, but holding that as the basic form.
So I'll write it as you say. So please suggest. Yeah, really, such beautiful words have been written. Anubha has explained so beautifully.
Yeah, what I think about that is also that the awareness I love in Anuda's one, because a lot of the people are not aware. And first step is to be aware about this gift of air. And one thing is to breathe in with trust, but there's one part missing, that they are also be mindful and also thankful about it, because it's not what is the English word? It's not everybody has the chance, if you are living in a city with lots of pollution, and you just can't take it for granted. And everybody, we all have to be aware of that everybody is able to breathe in the fresh air. So we need awareness. Otherwise, we don't have, there won't be this big lung of Amazonas anymore. And if they are cutting the trees and everything, so we also need the awareness.
I think I would like to add the love uh, that you brought in, Kiara. Oh, someone wrote. Okay, Kiara also wrote, and I also wrote. We breathe together fully and freely with multidimensional awareness and loving trust. So, okay, so now we have two to contend with. Our intention is that we breathe together fully and freely with multidimensional awareness and loving trust. One of the reasons why I like that is, and I know I'm like you, Kiara, it's very difficult for me to stay at the physical body level because it is our choice. Two people in the same polluted air can have filters which can transform when they're coming in, and we sort of know it, but we also don't. And I'll tell you why, Kiara. I'm a little I'm wondering about it because I don't really believe enough in the physical. It's not enough for me, and I've been forced to realize that it is. Because recently I realized that I have a wheeze, an upper chest wheeze. I would say, where's the sound coming from? And it was coming from me. And then I remembered it happened a year ago also. And it's spring, and my mango trees and many trees around are blossoming, so maybe I have an allergy. And then I said, yes, I remember when I had a blood test some years ago, they told me that I have eosinophils, which are So what I'm saying is that I think to do the physicality is important because most of us are not fully able to filter out pollution. It's difficult,
Right.
you know?
Agreed.
Yeah.
I might add too, I know that there are differences of opinion about wearing masks and what that symbolizes. And so I just want to share a different way of looking at it. I uh, agreed to wear masks in certain situations, not out of fear and not even out of abundance of caution, but as an act of love, as an act of caring and compassion for those who were vulnerable. And like I said, I don't want to get into the ideological differences about this, but you're absolutely right, Heike, that the mask has come to symbolize certain things. It depends on how people perceive the masks. And that's why I feel it's important to maybe not focus on the masks and all other measures that may be designed to address essentially a virus that's transmitted through the air, through aerosol, for which symptoms may not be known for days, and therefore it poses the risk of transmission without anyone even knowing that they're doing it. And frankly, with ice melting underneath certain lands that were previously covered by glaciers, we have no idea what's been hidden beneath those glaciers and will come to life and spring to life. In other words, there's an unknown out there. And so I agree, Meenakshi, that we have to be conscious of the physicality of the world that we live in. And ultimately, our intention would be that regardless of what the risks are to our ability to breathe, to our access to clean air, no matter what it is, then ultimately we'd like to get to the point that we can all breathe fully, freely, with love, trust, awareness, and gratitude. So I guess that's a long-winded way of saying I agree with how it's stated at the moment, Meenakshi. Thank you.
There's one more thought which was coming to me, and that is that there are so many ways which are already on earth. So, in a physical way, for example, for food, which we'll discuss when we do soil, but breatharianism. And there are people who I know who have been breatharians for a year or two. So for me, it's like out of this world and amazing. And I've met people who while they were who have taken a lifetime of that, so they don't need food, so we don't have to worry about it. For example, it's the same with breath. When I did Kriya Yoga, they teach you how the yogis breathe from the internal breath. They don't need the air breath. The one of us was asked to put a mirror below the nostril of the guru, of the Swami, and there was nothing. It never got misted for 5 minutes because he was doing his internal breath. Now, all of us can't do that. And the intention we are making now is not for us, it's for while we are going towards it. But what I like is, therefore, I like what Kiara has written, the word multidimensional, because that is taking care of all the dimensionality of all the layers, wherever the world is, that they know they can breathe freely. Because wherever we are, if we are feeling like this, and Heike, if the people around you are feeling okay while doing it, it's okay. If they stop you, yesterday I was out and about after a long time in a mall because that's where I had to go for some bone density test or something. And so for me it's like coming out of, okay, I'm going out into the world. So some people are wearing a mask, and I found myself, if people are wearing, I put mine on. If they're not wearing, I don't know. I have no wish either way. And then when I was buying something, I told the lady, because she was very kind, but she was kind, but not, she was not a happy person at that moment. I told her, "Can you see that I'm smiling at you?" Both of us were wearing masks. She said, "Yes, I can see it in your eyes." And she started laughing. Because we are everywhere. That's also the wholeness of me in my eyes. So
Mm.
I like that word multidimensional. So I don't know, can we rewrite it now? Because then we'll change
Yes.
we'll change quite a lot. We breathe together fully and freely with multidimensional awareness and loving trust. I like that. It has lots of everything in it. But we can add to it if someone wants to add.
I do like the gratitude that Heike suggested.
Yes. With awareness, loving trust, and gratitude.
Perfect.
Because it has love, it has trust. Anubha, speak. So I will write it and then you say if everyone can agree with this. And it has that we breathe together. I love that. Is everyone okay with the last one? Anubha, you want to add something?
I think it sounds perfect. Thank you, Meenakshi.
Is everyone a yes?
Sounds
So
good.
let's say it all together. Beautiful.
Uh,
Our
Our
intention
Our
is
intention
intention is that
is that
to
we
That
breathe
we
we
breathe
breathe
together
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 fully and
fully
fully
freely
fully
and
and
freely
freely
with
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 multi-dimensional
multi-dimensional awareness,
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 loving
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 trust,
trust
trust,
trust,
and
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 gratitude.
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 gratitude. Beautiful.
Thank
Mm.
you.
So now
Oh,
I'm going to play some music and we will focus on the intention, not hold it, but we'll focus on it and just see, and then we'll share what we see. Shall we start with the other way around this time? This is wind. Wind can go in many ways. Vivian, would you like to start
I'm
with
sorry.
what you saw? With
Oh,
what you
okay. It's like, what am I starting? Um, uh, well, music uh, has a great effect on me. And that, in addition to you um, sort of sitting by an ocean and a palm tree with leaves, it created the perfect starting visual for me. Um, so really, in when I go into this space, I'm just the what I focus on is breathing fully, breathing freely, and all of us doing it. This is what came to me, is all of us breathing together in sync and through our hearts. So that's it. Thank you.
Mm.
Yes. In the end, what I saw was Mother Earth breathing, and all of us were breathing with her. And throughout, it was very, very beautiful because I saw my personal intentions came into play, and it was as if the wind was pushing me, and into walking regularly, or whichever, whatever. And that was that was my personal intention. And but how it started was with hiker, because the fresh breeze from the forests that she has spoken of, the fresh, clean air, it started to blow, and the first place it went to was Delhi, which is which has such polluted air that people are actually asked not to go out and walk. And because I have lots of loved ones there, so that's one of the places I guess that's why my mind brought it there. And then to all the places wherever there is no clean air, so I did see that this was important, that freshness, and the trees receiving it. So that's how it started, went to me, and in a spiral form, and then finally the earth was breathing, and I was feeling all that internal, the chakras breathing. It was very beautiful to be together. Thank you.
Mm.
Kiara?
Yeah, well, when you talked about breatharians, um, breathing prana, it reminded me of an experience when I was doing a sweat lodge and afterwards jumping into a stream, a cold mountain stream. And I was in there underneath the water for at least 10 minutes before I even realized that I hadn't breathed. And the only reason I came up for air was to check and see if I was still alive. And not because I needed to breathe. And it was such a revelation about who we are. So, that bit about multidimensional awareness. And once we learn how to expand our senses, so we go beyond the need for food, for air, the external senses, or at least the limited senses, what else is there that we begin to understand and feel and experience? And that's been a great exploration for me. And when we're talking about these basic elements, I think we're also talking about reprogramming our bodies, our minds, our hearts, our spirits, so we can actually become multidimensionally divine, to open up the possibilities within the DNA, to evolve into a completely new species that we haven't experienced yet. So that's also all part of the exploration for me.
It's Heike now. I think it helps if we say the name.
Okay. Well, I saw us together, and we were on a huge mountain on the top, and we were in a circle holding hands, and we were connected with our hearts, and we were breathing together, and then we were looking, we were first we were lifted up really, really high into universe, and then we looked down and saw Gaia, and we took a deep breath and we were breathing like this to Gaia, and she smiled and sent a rainbow,
Mm.
and it was so beautiful. I didn't like it if by the time you took us back. I wanted to stay there. That was so special, so precious. Yeah. Thank you, Minachi. Thank you all.
Yeah, actually,
Thank
later,
you.
please say how long we should stay. I should have let us stay longer. I get distracted by having to do this and that. Anubha?
Um, so I think I was a little confused initially, and I think once the music started and I also kept my phone down, I felt I was able to first just breathe, and then I was reading the collective intention, and I actually started connecting with breathing freely together, and I felt uh, the loving trust, and it felt like not just all of us, like everyone, the entire life was breathing this intention. And then my attention shifted to the intention I had for myself, and also what I initially had thought about inhaling and exhaling. And I felt that there was this need to embody the lightness that air has, the buoyancy that is there in air, that it just moves from one spot to another in a span of moments. And I felt that perhaps that quality is something that would be, it felt more like air saying, hey, this is the quality of me. And maybe you could mirror that.
Mm.
Thank you.
Very beautiful. I love the sharing. I keep find myself saying, wow, wow, wow. So, what I'd like us to do, what would you all like to do next? We'll end with the gratitude lotus, but I also would like a little bit of talking. We'll switch the recording off at that stage. Can you? So we do have time. Would anyone like to guide us in the gratitude lotus with words? I also want to say that Kiara is going to have his session with us on ancient Inca healing practices on the 2nd of April at the same time. So I hope that all of you will be able to attend. You may have already got the links. So, what would you like to do? Or would, yeah, would someone guide us in the gratitude lotus? Who would like to guide? We have lots of meditation guides in this group. Do you want me to call on you? You guide yourself.
I think Vivian is getting ready.
I honestly am not among the meditation guidance pros. So, but thank you for thinking of me.
Heike, would you like to? Heike is a Qigong and yoga teacher,
I
and she
would love
guides
to
beautiful
hear.
meditations.
Yeah, in German. Yeah. But I would love to hear Chiara, as I won't be able to come on your event because I'm
Ah,
working.
okay.
Okay, so
But
Kiara.
I would love you to hear.
So, well, I'm happy to. So, but I don't know what the gratitude lotus is.
It's okay. We can do it in the end. We just all do this. Also, let's do this and then we'll have your guided meditation. So,
Okay.
what we do with the gratitude lotus, because we've talked of gratitude, is that we keep these two closed, but we open up like that together. And so that you can do, Vivian, as you will do it and we will follow you. So we do it together. And then we do, so this is opening the lotus, then this is sharing it, radiating it out, and then coming back again. Okay, so Vivian, since Kiara had called on you, please do this. Okay, and we will all follow you. Thank you.
Thank you, Meenakshi.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Kiara, will you guide a short meditation? We still have like 7 minutes.
So, sure. So, the theme is gratitude. All right.
Anything you like, maybe air, anything you like.
Yeah. So, we just connect with the heart of Mother Earth, this beautiful presence of life that holds so much in her unconditional belly, so much potential, so much expression. And there's so much gratitude to be part of that, to be aware of that, and to participate with her and through her in a new creation. And as Chief Seattle said so many years ago, the earth does not belong to man. Man belongs to the earth. And we belong to each other. We are one consciousness in different fractal stages of awareness. And I'm so deeply aware at this moment that Gaia is not outside of us. That we are Gaia. It's not just that we dwell upon her, but she dwells within us as we dwell within her. And just in that awareness, I feel this gratitude, this deep sense of love and presence, knowing that we've been invited here with that purpose, with that mission, to grow eternally into that space of deep connection, deep union, deep expression. And no matter what's happening or what seems to be happening on the outside, in the political arena, or ecological or economic conditions, or what's happening between humanity and other species of life. That's all perfection. And as long as we remain in that multidimensionality of awareness, we're constantly mirroring that perfection for each other. And in mirroring that, we're actually creating that. So gratitude that we can be here at this time of immense change. Grateful to be invited to be here on this beautiful planet at this time. I'm grateful to be in connection with each of you in this circle and other circles and interconnected circles of interbeing across the earth.
Thank you, Kiara. So beautiful. See where you brought all of us.
Thank you all.
I'm just going to stop. So we're going to meet next month for soil. And in my mind, I always think of it as soul. So that would be beautiful to meet everyone. And okay, I'm stopping the recording now.